It's been silent. Too silent. They thought we were gone. That we had fallen behind. But in the dark, we've been preparing. We've sharpened our skills. We've refined our craft. And now, we're back. A new era begins. 6 weeks of racing. 2 different formats. Sprint racing and 75-minute races. 6 tracks. Nürburgring, Germany. Kyalami, South Africa. Monza, Italy. Silverstone, Great Britain. Barcelona, Spain. Spa, Belgium. SARCO Season 1 2025. Brought to you by Lekker Rubber with NAG. Supported by MSI, ALM Solutions, VA Auto Repairs, and Celtic Tuning Midrand. SARCO, the way sim racing should be.
Attention VW and Audi car owners. Looking for top-notch car service and repair without breaking the bank? At VA Auto Repairs, we're the VW and Audi specialist you can trust. Our expert team ensures quality repairs and maintenance with a guarantee of satisfaction. From brakes to engine overhauls, we can handle it all. Your car is in good hands. RMI approved, we deliver excellence at fair prices. Your safety and satisfaction, our top priorities. Book your car service today. Visit our website or call 011 315 4001. And don't forget to quote SARCO when making your booking. VA Auto Repairs, your trusted partner in vehicle care.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Here we are. It's Alan Patterson with my good friend Dylan Hall, and we're coming to you live tonight on a Wednesday night. We are at Kyalami for round number 2. Dylan, how are you doing?
Good evening, Alan. Well, yes, and round number 2, here we go. Really looking forward to what's happening here. We are keeping it local. We're at Kyalami, and we've got 42 drivers that have joined us this evening. Man, oh man. This is going to be crazy.
This is going to be insane. No question about it. We are a little late, but we're coming to you right now with Jude Neville about to go over the line, and this is his first lap and qualifying, and that's a 141.8. So here we go. This is the chaos that is 42 cars doing qualifier. Brandon DeSantis, 3.1 seconds off the pace in second place. Then who do we get next? We're going to miss a few. I see a car 3 coming.
So that car number 3 is Sean Lerero as he approaches the line. He's going to cross the line, and he is now starting his time. Okay. We do have Sheldon Nicholas who's crossed the line at a 144.7. Vietu Botha 142.6. That puts him up into second place, splitting himself between Jude and Sheldon.
Louis Fontaine on the camera at the moment, car 16 as he comes over the line. I'm not sure if this is a lap or his lap. It looks like his, oh it was. So that's 4th place, 1.1 seconds off the pace. So that's Louis Fontaine done. Let's go and see who's next that I can find. Rob van der Heever. Rob currently going through the SEs. Terry Wolford also out on track for Griffin Sim Racing.
We do have a lap from Neil Greening. He crosses the line at 143.1. That puts him into 6th place. As Chris Wall, he pushes down Brandon Holzhausen, who was in 3rd. Chris goes into a 3rd place with a 142.2 versus Brandon Holzhausen's 142.3.
Right, next coming to the line, it looks like car number 10, I think. Is it 10? No,
so
26.
I have an overlap. I've got a 36, 19, and a 42. So
36.
Terry Wolf.
Terry Wolford, Here we go. Coming over and close behind him a few other cars, but we'll try and get some lap times as we see the action. Terry Wolford hits the line, and that puts him 8th, 1.4 seconds back. Just behind him, his teammate looks like he's starting a lap. That's Rob van der Heever, who's just gone by. So car 40 is down into Crowthorne. Good to be back at the legendary Kyalami, and a lot of corners that we all should know and remember. I grew up at this track, so well, the original track, but still it's nice to have racing back here at Kyalami.
Sean Larrera goes third with a 142.0. Then Chris Wall's now in 4th place with Brandon Holtzhausen in 5th. And as we say that, Jeffrey LaRue, he puts it into 5th place with a 142.3. That is 0.03 faster than Brandon Holtzhausen.
I've just watched Fleming come over the line. Fleming Bauer, he starts his quick lap, so we'll have to catch him next time he comes around. Car 44 is now coming through Crocodiles. If I can find him really quickly. This is Agamemnon Varonis in his Mustang, and he comes through the final corner, heads to the line, and where does this put him?
And Memo had a really difficult race last week at the Nürburgring. Didn't make it past turn 2 in both his races, unfortunately being collected by some other drivers. So he's really looking forward to getting a good result here.
Henry Platt coming to the line in the Mustang, and he goes onto his fast lap. So I'm getting everyone going onto fast laps right now.
A driver we did miss, Jude Neville, he's got him at a 141.8, which is currently has him at the top of the standings, with Paul Fenter in 2nd with a 142.04.
There we go. So 141.8, great time from Jude. Gonna try and go and find Rob van der Heever. He's just finished his lap. He's in 11th place, 1.3 seconds back his lap time there. Right, next up we are, I see Jason Farmer's out, so he's just left.
Oh, Philip Minor, 140.7.
There we go.
1.1 seconds quicker.
Henry Mayer just goes into 2nd place, 6/10 back. Very quick lap from Henry Mayer, a 141.327 for him, so that's him done. Fleming Bauer goes into 3rd place, 8/10 further back. Right, who's next on track? It's car 37. This is Jabulani Matsivadondo in the green McLaren, and he heads to the line, and let's see where he comes over. He's starting his lap, so missed that one. Herman Percival, he's still coming down from Leocorp. Car 28. Henry Platt comes through Crocodiles. Yep. He's a couple of cars behind a few other cars, but I've got him. Car 24 is ahead of him.
5th place there for Henry with a 141.7.
Flip Van Sale comes around the final turn for GSRT, and he's going to go over the line in the Mustang, and he starts his lap, so missed that one.
Coming out of the last corner now is Brandon Kruger. He will cross the line and goes into 2nd place with a 141.0.
That's a great time from Brandon Kruger. Right, I can hear the wailing of Nissans, so still a couple of cars out there, including the PWSR guys. Herman Percival's just gone over in 18th place, a 142.7, so that's Herman's lap done. Michael Donaldson.
142.3, so missed the first race, but he has joined us here this evening.
Oof, Andre Sorodio, he just blew it out coming through Ingwe. Who's going around the corner? It's Gerry Van Sale. Gerry Van Sale heading to the line, and Gerry puts it in 5th place, a good lap time, a 141.4, 7/10 off the pace there. Chris Heineke coming through Crocodiles. Chris gone back to the Porsche, see? Back to the slick racing days. But racing now for Team GSRT, and Chris manhandles that Porsche through that little kink and through the final turn. Cheetah.
I did get Mazi van Dondo, who did cross the line in 33rd place with a 46.6.
There we go. Chris goes 15th, a 142.2. So that's Chris's lap done. Daniel De Villiers in the big Godzilla. He comes with Darren, his teammate, behind him. Daniel goes 15th, a 142.2. And I don't know where Darren went.
I've got Darren down in 26th place with a 142.9.
Johan van der Venter coming to the line in a stunning looking Aston, and he goes over in 35th. And that's, oh, look there. Musa, Sorodia, and Domingo all didn't put in lap times. So the whole of Project Vapor are coming from the back of the grid here, Dylan.
That is part of the strategy. I'm pretty certain of it. They don't want to be caught up front. They'll probably do an early pit stop. Let there be a little bit of a gap. Put in that 1 liter of fuel. Get some open air, and the three of them are going to work together.
Good stuff. Right, guys, we'll be back. We're just going to go for a quick break and show our sponsors' promo videos again, so bear with us here.
It's been silent. Too silent. They thought we were gone. That we had fallen behind. But in the dark, we've been preparing. We've sharpened our skills. We've refined our craft. And now, we're back. A new era begins. 6 weeks of racing. 2 different formats. Sprint racing and 75-minute races. 6 tracks. Nürburgring, Germany. Kyalami, South Africa. Monza, Italy. Silverstone, Great Britain. Barcelona, Spain. Spa, Belgium. SARCO Season 1 2025. Brought to you by Lekker Rubber with NAG. Supported by MSI, ALM Solutions, VA Auto Repairs, and Celtic Tuning Midrand. SARCO, the way sim racing should be.
Attention VW and Audi car owners. Looking for top-notch car service and repair without breaking the bank? At VA Auto Repairs, we're the VW and Audi specialist you can trust. Our expert team ensures quality repairs and maintenance with a guarantee of satisfaction. From brakes to engine overhauls, we can handle it all. Your car is in good hands. RMI approved, we deliver excellence at fair prices. Your safety and satisfaction, our top priorities. Book your car service today. Visit our website or call 011 315 4001. And don't forget to quote SARCO when making your booking. VA Auto Repairs, your trusted partner in vehicle care.
Right, welcome back, ladies and gents. And as you can see, we're just under a minute to go to the starting grid. Looking at the grid tonight, Philip Minard, Brandon Kruger, front row, Henry Meyer, Christoph Peterson with the K, second row, Jerry Van Sale and Fleming Bauer is your top 6. Again, some big hitters here, and it's going to be a very competitive race, I think, this evening, Dylan.
And most definitely, the funny thing is that you don't think that the Fords will actually fare well here, but they are. And for some reason, the guys are getting the top speeds out of them, going down the main straight as well as through the back on through Sunset. They're carrying the pace through there, which is making it very difficult for the likes of the Ferrari to keep up. So we'll see Ferrari's a mid-pack there. But interesting that the Honda is from Christoph Peterson is up in 4th place.
Yeah.
A car that really does suffer when we start talking about top end.
Well, we're going to sit in the helicopter on top of Fleming and Gerry van Sale's car, and we're going to try and watch the leaders go through the first 4-5 corners, and then we'll try and pick up what the pack's doing. So we're not going to jump around too much. We need to see the race itself. I'm actually going to go to Henry Mayer's car, and we're on the camera with him now in third place. That's him in the McLaren up against the pit wall, waiting for the green lights. There we go, it's green, we're away. Kyalami, round number 2. Oh, there's a little bit of touching going on already between the Mustang of Brandon Kruger and Henry Meyer. Oh, we almost went into the back of Philip Minard there, into Crowthorne, and there's a spin from 5th, 6th place. A white Mustang's gone round.
I just hope that we know there through Yuxke, that sweep, it does tighten up there, and hopefully not too many yellow flags that we're seeing. But we are seeing the one car, number 23, just regaining its place back on the track as Henry Mayo now goes through Sunset, and we've set it at Sunset just to give you that little bit of the real life, as we see one of the PSR cars having a go on the inside of Jason Farmer, and that is one place up there for Donald de Villiers.
Indeed. Now they head down into the Essies, and then they climb up to Leeuwkop by the old prison. Nose to tail, a whole train of cars going up here. We're going up ahead to Fleming Bauer, all over the back of the Honda of Christoph Peterson, but the leader's behaving here, and already you can see Philip Minard pulling out a little bit of a gap there. Then we look back up the hill, and you can see there's a whole bunch of cars. Sean Loureiro coming along well, just behind him Jason Farmer, who's got Paul Fenter all over him from LNR, and big swerve going into Crocodiles there, but no harm, no foul as they come through. And just behind, they're side by side, it's Herman Percival. Oh, and he backs out of it. It's not, and, it's Wadeley, yeah.
But Matthew Wadeley very well pulled out there. It's definitely didn't look like that move would have worked. Some cars taking to the pits nice and early. You can see 2 wide there going into the last corner there at Ingwe. Turn at number 16 at Terry Wolford. I actually had a bit of a laugh with Terry, because he is racing at Kyalami this weekend in his V8.
Okay.
And he said he just needs to remind himself that he mustn't pull pedals. He actually needs to use the gear stick to take down that V8. So I will be phoning him in the morning and say, don't forget, you do not have pedal shift in your V8 Mustang.
There we go. Right, we're watching our man Muat Musa from Project Vapor, and he's slowly coming through the field past Jean-André Bierkes and a Ferrari there of Rob van der Heefer. But let's quickly go back up to the front of the grid and just have a look what's happening. It looks all pretty stable here, so you're not missing anything. I'm going back to Henry Platt, however. They side by side. No, it's not. It's Fleming Bauer.
Fleming Bauer in the new Pandacity Infiltrate livery. I must say, I do quite like those Pandacity liveries. There's just something about that little Panda that, in one way, it's nice and cuddly, but there is something ominous about it.
Got you, right. Oh, the big Mustang of Sean Loureiro. He comes through, Henry Platt with Sean Loureiro right behind him. And onwards they come to another lap. Okay, we need to start looking for some close dices here. It looks like... my name is Jeffrey LaRue. Right on.
My name's Jeff.
That's how you do it. And he is starting to harass Mr. Paul Fenter from LNR. So let's watch this for a little bit.
We did welcome Paul back. He did do the skip round in the first race, but nice to have him here. I know there's a little bit of a three-way battle between the guys from LNR and the guys from GSR. They're picking their 3 drivers, and there's a little bit of a wager happening. So it'd be nice to see how this all balances out at the end. As we look back from Matthew Wadeley looking at Chris Wall in his Mustang. Will Chris have a look to the inside as he goes through Sunset? Backs out of it, but then tries to get that rearview mirror full of Mustang bumper with Matthew Wadeley.
And just behind them, Brandon Holzhausen looking to pick up the pieces. Viertier Boert is there, and Darren Miller from PWS are hanging on to a decent 17th.
Brandon Holzhausen, he was in that powder blue Mustang last week, and I see it's now changed to a little bit of a gunmetal. So interesting change of livery. We also have the return of the SARCO livery with Mr. Ooh, is that Sean Herrera that's gone wide there?
That was Flip van Sale who let Blichnout go right through, and he's taken that position, I think.
I wonder if that's linked to Mamba Fever. There's just something about a green car in your rearview mirrors that just makes people nervous.
Yeah, okay. I was expecting the usual from you, but I'll let you get by with that one. Here's Rob van der Heever for Griffin Sim Racing, right in the thick of two Mustang. He's in fact a sandwich here, a Mustang sandwich. Varonas ahead of him and Sean Gullis right behind him, and Sean Gullis is all over him. We didn't get time to tell you this on the viewing, so there are 2 pit stops, and they are compulsory pit stops for fuel. So a lot of strat work will be coming into this race tonight. 80-minute race with two pit stops. At least 1 liter has to go in the car. So we're not sure what the drivers are doing, but that strat is going to play out, and we'll see how it moves the drivers around in the field.
I must say, there was a pretty decent overtake there by Sheldon Nagalis. He got into the slipstream, moved out nice and early, slotted it up on the inside, and moved himself up an additional position, up into 23rd, now behind Memo Veronis. Jude Neville up behind Henry Platt. Is he going to have a look into... I've lost my train of thought. Okay, there we are. Yep. I found him. I found where we are. I honestly thought they were going up to Yixka, and I'm like, hold on, that corner was supposed to have gone to the right, not to the left. So it did completely throw me off there.
Just focusing on Mr. De Villiers here, because he went sideways around Leeuwkop. So he's set up the big Godzilla extremely loose here, and he has the likes of Paul Fenter right on his tail, and we're going to just watch what happens here. That Ferrari 2 cars back is Matthew Wadley. He was the guy who was just hemorrhaging positions as they went up to Leeuwkop. So I don't know if he's carrying damage or if he's just getting out of the action, but now he's got Vietir Buerto right behind him.
And with Wadley having that Mustang behind him, the Mustang's definitely be putting a lot of pressure on. See Matthew really going defensive into turn number 2. And holding that line. Oh my gosh.
That's Thriller Miller in the Nissan arriving on the scene.
Most definitely. That's all I'm going to do is just close my eyes and hope to God that I make it.
Yo, that was late. No questions. Okay. Looking up ahead, Henry Mayer in 3rd place. He is close right on the back of Brandon Kruger. They are half a second apart, give or take, and just behind them Fleming Bauer and Gideon Renner also right behind him. So let's keep our eyes peeled on this, because this is up for the podium positions and it's starting to hot up here. I think Brandon Kruger's feeling the pressure coming from Henry May in that McLaren. Going back to Gideon Renner, here he's in 5th place, and Gideon Renner is also closing in on the back of Fleming Bauer.
I am seeing a bit of a battle, so Vietir Buerto is still on the back of Wadley, but if we look a little bit higher, 10th place there with Paul Fenter and my name's Jeff, they've got a nice little battle between the 2 of them up behind Daniel De Villiers.
There we go. Cars look amazing in the dusk sun setting. Track time 20 minutes past 6 up at Kyalami. Awesome weather, as you can see, a balmy 22 degrees, 20 degrees ambient temperature, and I think the drivers are having a lot of fun out there. Henry Mayer, we're going back there, he's close. Barbecue and Yixka, and he is looking to get onto this Mustang. He's in the draft now.
Oh, Brandon hit that curb, did push him out a little bit wide. It looked like Henry has been able to close up a little bit more. Now as they go down in through a sunset, you can just see how that McLaren just closes up into the back of the Mustang. The Mustang not looking happy through there at all.
No. Henry May definitely the quicker man right now, and is, I would hesitate to guess, into the SEs he closes in. They're going up now, up to Leeuwkop, and the Mustang grunts its way up the hill. I don't think it's going to be long, and we're going to see a move happen somewhere.
Yeah, Henry is definitely trying to find a way, putting that McLaren in that rearview mirror, trying to make it as uncomfortable as possible for Brandon Kruger. This is possibly a good overtaking opportunity. If he can just get a little bit closer, can he have a look to the inside? Not close enough. That Mustang, pretty decent on the brakes there.
Indeed.
I honestly expected him to try and get on the brakes a little bit earlier, which might have just opened the door a little bit there for Henry and just enticed him to have a look. But as we're looking at these two, we can see just behind Fleming Bauer and Renner are now starting to close up on these two.
Yeah, this is becoming a four-way fight for third place. Henry Mayer is still pushing hard as they head down to Crowthorne. I've got to hesitate to guess possibly Brandon Kruger might have gone off track as he came through Cheetah, that little kink. He was very wide on the exit, so he's maybe carrying a track cut.
Just looking at the previous lap times, we have Brandon Kruger on a 141.0, Henry Mayer on a 141.1, but then Fleming Bauer a 40.9 and Gideon Renner a 140.6. So the third and fourth place, fourth and fifth are definitely closing up onto the back of Henry and Brandon. And I see Henry now within 0.4 of a second now. So Henry definitely making life there for Brandon not very easy.
No, he's all over the back of him. The McLaren has its moments around the track, but the grunt of that V8 manages to get Brandon Kruger up the hill towards Leeuwkop, and under braking, he's literally in the boot of that Mustang. Now heading down the hill, fastest section of the track here, down the mine shaft, as everybody knows, and then heading towards Crocodiles. And Crocodiles has a number of lines that you can take through here, but they're all pretty much on the corner apex and the high-speed exits. Now through this little kink, Cheetah, and then final turn.
Henry's wide.
Very wide. And now into Ingwe. Good does
it does
happening
look
here.
It does look like these four drivers are starting to catch up to the back of Ruan Heineke in that number 69 SARCO livery. I'm assuming that Ruan has gone and done a pit stop, which is why he's kind of out of sync. Yes, and I can confirm he's actually done 2 pit stops, so not sure what happened there, but Ruan has done 2 pit stops,
right,
as well as Herman Percival.
Could have been early lap contact. Jumping down to 17th here, this is Johan Blichnout, who is attacking the likes of Darren Miller, and there were 2 or 3 chances that he had where he was within a 10th on the timing screen. So just going to watch this because I've got a feeling we're going to see an overtake happen here. Good drivers, they come out of Barbecue and Yukskay, now heading towards Sunset. Sun's gone. And Miller hangs on to that Godzilla, but the Mustang's right in his tail, in his tracks. Into Clubhouse they come. I sat there at the first 9 hours. It was amazing. Did you go, Dylan?
At the first 9 hours, yes, I was. I was very fortunate enough to be at the BMW tent, so we were basically watching them coming out of Sunset into Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, did I fall in love with that Bentley? That sound.
It was. I did manage to sneak into that tent, and I was there as well. So we were probably bumping elbows, but we never knew it at the time.
And here's the thing: is I spent some time with Kalen Mauer and his dad at that tent. So yeah, small world.
It's very right. Again through Crocodiles, and they're almost side by side. Darren Miller doing very well to defend. And Blichnout can't find a way past. Miller hits the curb. Oh dear, has he lost it? Oh, he caught it. Oh, now there's contact. I think Blichnout helped him to keep it in a straight line. Let's go back 30 seconds and we'll see that happen. Miller coming around the bottom of the mine shaft, and he comes through Crocodiles well, but he collects too much of the curb as they go through Cheetah, and you'll see this happen. The big Godzilla does take it well, but it bounces awkwardly right there, gets a big slide on, catches the slide, and then Blichnout goes up the inside, gentle tap, but Miller manages to keep it all together.
It looked like with Darren sliding out, that just opened the door there for Blichnout. Had to have a look on the inside, but you can see it looks like Bolstered has given the place back, saying, look, it wouldn't have been a fair pass, go through and let's have a go again. And this is exactly the type of culture that we want to see here at SARCO.
Exactly, 150%. The respect shown is immaculate. So well done to Johan Blicknote for passing that position back. Going to move on and just going to have a look at the leaders again. We'll catch up with our Mr. Sir Alien himself, Philip Minnar, for 255 competition. His last lap, a 139.7. Never mind his best. His last lap was a 139.7. His best a 139.5, and he is already 12 seconds up the road. That's how quick this young man is. Brandon Kruger still hanging on to second. He is 3/10 ahead of Henry Meyer with Fleming Bauer and Gideon Renner right there. So this has become a four-way battle, and we're going to sit right here and watch this for a bit.
I was going to say, there's also Sean Narero, who's at the back there of that shot. So
Indeed.
The more these guys battle, little catch of the curb on the exit there for Henry Meyer. And the more they battle, the more cars just start coming into the party, and then it gets even more difficult to overtake. And this is where these strategies start coming into play. A big send on the inside.
Side by side as they come out of Clubhouse, and it looks like the McLaren has got past. Let's go. Yep. We'll go and look at that again. Right, on board with Brandon Kruger, and we're going to go to the helicamers who watch them come through Clubhouse, so we'll catch all the action. Thankful for this replay technology that we are driving tonight. State-of-the-art equipment. Oh, that is a massive send into Clubhouse by Henry Meyer. And, wow. He did.
I do see currently Fleming and Gideon Renner are right up just about on each other with Sean Narero now at the back of the party there. You can see Sean just having to pull out of that move right at the end there, and nearly going straight over that Ferrari.
I was just trying to work it out because I swear Fleming went by it, but it looks like he might have given it back, or Brandon Kruger took it back, but Brandon back into third place. Henry is leaving this party, but this is the dice for third place. It's Kruger, Bauer, Renner, and Lorero. As you can see, a full train of cars here as they come along into through Barbecue and Yixke.
Let's just jump to 24th place, please. There's some stuff happening there. And that is a side-by-side, Johan. No!
That's commentator's curse. That was you.
Yeah, I'll take that. Sorry, Michael.
Oh.
There was Brandon DeSantos. And fortunately not making contact there with Michael. Mohamed Musa moving a place up now into 23rd, getting himself ahead of Johan VDV. Mohamed has done a pit stop, so we'll just have to see how this all plays out a little bit later on in this race.
Indeed. Right, down with the man, Christoph with the K, Peterson, all the way from Germany, in 20th place. He is our net leader on the track at the moment. He has completed one of his compulsory pit stops. Jason Farmer behind him by 7.5 seconds. He has also completed a pit stop and is net second place with everybody from 19th up still having to do their pit stops. Looking down at the bottom of the field, Henry Percival and Ruan Heineke. Look at that SARCO livery. Dylan, let me give it to you. Look at that.
It is stunning. Absolutely freaking stunning. Just some inside information here is we can see that the current travel time, Michael Donaldson has done the fastest travel time within the pits with a stop time of 5.7 seconds, where Christoph Peterson has done a 24.1 second travel time with the stop time of 21.1. So he currently has got the fastest pit stop.
Right. That also tells us about different fuel loads going in the car, whether it's 1 liters, 10 liters, etc. That'll equate back to that. So this strategy race that you've set up is almost impossible for us as commentators to call, because everybody is doing a different strat. We really are only going to know who wins this and who finishes on the podium right at the end of the race. As we just watched Moord Musa going by the Ferrari of Michael Donaldson. But further,
And Alan,
yes, sir.
would you have it any other way?
I wouldn't. You certainly don't want this to be predictable. You don't want us to tell you who's winning. This has got to come down to the fat lady singing when they're over the checkered line. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Just jump there to Sean Loureiro, 0.3 behind Gideon now. So Sean really starting to apply the pressure. And as we say that, Sean Loureiro has shown that he has gone ahead of Gideon.
Gideon's in the pits. So Renner getting a pit stop done and dusted. He was obviously possibly being held up a little bit, but that puts Sean Loureiro up into 5th place. Brandon Kruger pressing hard here, and he's okay. What have we got going on here? Henry Mayer is up ahead,
and this is where things get so interesting.
Yeah.
And it's basically that mini enduro starts coming through.
Exactly.
Is that you're racing different people, they're on different pit stop strategies, but you might be racing them, but they're now a lap down.
In the helmet cam of the man Fleming Bauer looking up ahead at Brandon Kruger, and this is a very close gap. This is half a second depending on where they are on the track. I do believe we're going to see a move happen shortly here. I am going to drop down to 15th place. It's Chris Heinecker all over the back of another PWSR Nissan, and it's Darren Miller again right in the thick of things. So Chris,
yeah, there was a forfeit in points scored by Chris Heinecker. Unfortunately, his lawnmower went in for a service and it didn't come out, and has opted to please change for something that's a little bit more familiar, as he has a send down the inside, goes a little bit too deep. Miller does the little cutback and is able to hang on to that position. But they are going to be side by side as they head down through the mine shaft. This is going to put Chris on the inside. If he's still going to have a go, Darren does see him. They are still side by side. Is that the Ferrari of the Ford? Oh, I'm so confused now. I'm playing the Ferrari of Fansal, but it's not. Because that is Reina, who's now part of this battle.
Yes.
And that was close by Chris. I nearly thought he was going to jump on the back there. But that is some incredible racing. Chris has a massive dive up on the inside through Leocorp. Miller does the cutback, holds the outside line going into Crocodiles, but he's able to hang on to that place.
Right, down into Crowthorne they come, and you're right. Miller trying to hang on to this position from Chris Heinecker, with Gideon Renner having done a pit stop. So Gideon Renner is now your net leader, and he is ahead of the likes of Christoph Pedersen by about 5.5 seconds. Here we go, Chris looking again in the Porsche as they come to Sunset. Oh, he put on the brakes so hard there, and I tell you what, Gideon Renner almost went into the back of that Porsche.
So must have had a little bit of an understeer. And he understeers going through Clubhouse there as well. So even though it looks like Chris is really pushing hard, he just doesn't seem to have this car completely dialed in. Is he going to do a repeat of the previous move? No, he opts to go to the outside. That's a big send there by Renner. That's a massive send, contact from the two drivers. And that's now got Miller dropping.
This was the send of all sends from last year from Gideon Renner. We're going to watch this as they go up to in the helmet cam with Gideon. I'll leave this one up to the stewards because I suspect something's going to come of this. He is way behind the Porsche. He actually outbraked himself and used the Nissan as a brake point. Sure.
But we're seeing Lucas saying all the best drivers, Cameron saying let's go Wade Lee, Atipino saying hey, ja, meneer pull out Afrikaans, brand die rubber boys, hier kom maar down. Henry get past,
Brandon
Minna's leaving the
Kruger.
chat.
Okay,
Frankie's
so-
saying, what a way to race. The wheel decides to bomb out. Right paddle shifter is gone. Sorry, Frankie.
Sorry, Frankie. We,
But I do feel your pain. Mr. Daniel War Machine Morales from the US is here. Time for Code Coconuts in the USA. Welcome.
Indeed, welcome. Paul Fenter from LNR, hanging on and back in the old Aston Martin. He's also said enough of that lawnmower VTEC Honda thing. So him and Chris have abandoned the Honda. But Chris with a K is doing very well in his little Honda and hanging on to that car. But Paul now starting to feel some pressure from Mr. Jude Neville and Fleming Bauer back there in the McLaren as well. Fleming's dropped back a little bit. He was up in 5th or 6th earlier, so we missed some action here.
Is Fleming, I was about to say, has he pitted?
He
No, but he
hasn't.
hasn't. I still see he's still got 2 stops there.
Yeah. Blicknote now applying the pressure on Matthew Wadley's Ferrari. Blicknote very rapid in this green Mustang. I think you've got something there. I think it's got to do with this green color, you know?
Listen, green is, for some reason, it is so intimidating. Let's see if Johan will be able to have a little look to the inside there, or will Wadley go defensive? Wadley's not going to be really able to do much there. He's going to have to leave that door open, and Blicknote goes through pretty easily.
Undercut.
Now he's going to
Undercut.
side by side. Wow.
Again-
Wadley's saying, you can go there. I'm going to run it around the outside of turn 3, set myself up on the inside at 4, and go through barbecue.
And Blicknote's flashing him saying, well done, well played, sir. Some great respect being shown. There was no touching happening there at all, and the guys went through Crowthorne, Barbecue, and Yuxke and overtook each other twice. Now,
And that's what we want to see.
It
That's
is.
exactly what we want to see.
nice, clean, respectful racing. But looks like Blicknote is lining that Ferrari up again as it grunts up the hill to Leocorp. Wadley runs defensive, and they're side by side into the braking. Blicknote now tries the undercut, and he's going to try and push it down this hill. The big Ford Mustang is doing everything in its power. But I'll tell you what, the Ferrari is holding its own here. Right, here we go. 2 lines into the braking markers. Wadley's going to take a very tight apex and literally just closes the door on Blicknote as they come through there. Now this daft little kink thing. I really dislike that corner.
Yeah, me too. That was actually very smart there by Matthew.
Yep.
He set the car up right, made sure that he had closed off the exit, so Blicknote was not able to get that power down, even though he did go with the wider line. Wadley now going very defensive. It can Johan try go around the outside there and set himself up on the inside through turn number 3.
Matthew Wadley is driving an exceptional race. He's positioning that car exactly on the racing line, and there's nothing Blicknote can do about it.
So while that's happening, I do see that there is a little battle between Gerry van Sail and Louis Surfenting down in 28th and 29th place. So guys, we do see that action. And Rob van der Heever having an almighty battle with Agamemnon Veronis down in 34 and 35th place.
Kerry van Sail lining this up and swings out of the slipstream. Louis Serfontaine on the racing line. Kerry's going up the inside as they're going to Crowthorne. Long late outbraking maneuver, and looks like he made that stick. Going down to, did you say 30th? Agamemnon Veronis. Here we go as they come through Crocodiles. And Rob van der Heever right behind him. Ron Heineke just up ahead of them. You can see with the green box next to his name. Oh, wait a minute. There was somebody facing backwards. It wasn't him. I missed a car. There was a car facing backwards at Ingwe.
That did not look right, because yes, I saw there was yellow flags on both Terry and Ron Heineke at the same time.
Ron Heineke is in the pits. Terry Wilford, here he is. He's at the other side of the track, but very far out, going around Leocorp. Okay, well, we'll catch up. We did.
Darren Miller's just dropped down some places. Looks like he's lost 2 places.
He's in the pits right now, so it might have been him.
Oh, pits. Yo, so much happening with all these pit stops.
14th place, Gideon Renner. Here we go. We will endeavor to bring you the closed dices, and this is happening right now. Gideon Renner now dealing with Matthew Wadeley, or Matthew Wadeley dealing with Gideon Renner.
Yeah, that was very smart there by Matthew. He knew that the car hadn't earned the space there on the outside, just closed the door, and Gideon had to just back down and let Matthew go through there.
And Blicknote has in fact eked out a little bit of a gap, so he is now past Matthew and is on his way. Sean Lerera in the pits from 4th place, up at the top end of the timing sheets, so he's about to get one of his laps down, and he's going to come out in the thick of it. You can see on the track map the dots are everywhere, and it shows there are some gaps, but the traffic is spreading out around Kyalami.
It's going to be very interesting to see where Sean comes out relative to Renner, as well as Jason Farmer. You can see he's also had a pit stop there. Matthew Wadeley now into the pits, and Sean Lerera, you can see he is dropping down the order, but he should come out round about now.
Just looking at Isham Domingo coming through the final turn right behind Jason Farmer. Jason having done a pit stop, Isham still got 2 to go, so this is realistically not a track position, but they are dicing nonetheless. I'm going down to 25th place. It's Neil Kreenen, and there's mentalness going around on as they come through Crocodiles. Neil Kreenen for the Flick Floy LNR Aston Martin, and he's having to defend like a man possessed from Kerry van Sale, who slides the Mustang through that corner, and here they come down to Crowthorne. Let's see what happens at the end of the main straight. Don't think Kerry is close enough, but he is looking.
Yeah, it's definitely weaving left and right to make your opponents ahead a little bit uncomfortable. Fred Conradi has got Neil right behind him, and I'm pretty sure that Fred doesn't want anything to do with this battle between the Mustang and the Aston.
Kerry van Sale got a great drive out of Yukske, Barbecue Yukske Complex. He's on the outside now as they head into Sunset, and Neil Krening hanging on to the Aston. Fred having to lift a little. Is he? Gosh, he was almost going up the inside into a clubhouse there, but he's fallen back in line, and here they come down to the Essies.
But that's very, very clever driving between the both of them. Because Neil left it there, he left enough space, but it just wasn't enough for Van Sale to follow through on that move. As up in the inside is that our leader?
Not Louis Serfontaine, but I do believe that was Philip Minard. Indeed.
Yep, coming through. Yep, so if Philip Minard coming through and just breaking up that little tussle. You can see again just going to the inside, and the Aston opening up the steering wheel, allowing him to go through. So no one has really lost out of that, the race leader coming through there at all.
We're going to do one onboard lap with Philip Minard in the cockpit, and this is going to give you a good idea of his driving style. I'll actually put the car controls on so you can see his inputs in the bottom right hand corner.
Ooh, that was a little bit deep.
It was. Agreed.
So now he goes up into Yukske, up through Barbecue, using the curb on the inside. You can see how he just lets that car float over the curb before he gets down onto the power. As wide as possible here through Sunset, just about off the track. One gear down into third, lets the car settle straight back on the power. Now into Clubhouse on the brakes, getting their nose turned in.
Notice
using as much of the curb.
Notice how little sliding is going on, Dylan. The car is under complete control.
Yeah, most definitely. And he's keeping the car as wide as possible within the track limits as he can, Now up into Leeuwkop, getting as close to that inside curve as possible. I know some guys drive it. I see Philip stayed away from it. Now this will be a flat out down through the mine shaft as he sets up for the crocodiles. Then just past that 100-meter mark on the brakes,
Perfect
through the
racing line.
crocodiles,
Sure.
through turn of 14 here, which is the little left, then through Cheetah, the curb of death, then into Ingwe, the last corner, and that is essentially the one lap around Kyalami.
And this lap time, just FYI, is a pedestrian 140.9. So
Wow. Just jump to 6th, 7th, and 8th, please, there, because we have a Paul Fenter, Jude Neville, and Chris Wall battle. So it's a little Eleanor tussle between the three of them. And Jude 0.7 of a second behind Paul, and Chris half a second behind Jude. So, not to mention, we've got behind them at 1.5 seconds is Brandon Holzhausen. So, 4 Eleanor drivers in a row.
And I think Chris Wall just headed into the pits. Yes, he did. So he's fallen out of it. And that lets Brandon Holzhausen move up into 8th place. But yeah, these guys are definitely going at it. Gaps are there. 16th place, Mr. Michael Donaldson again. And he is close, but I think it's actually Moed Musa who's gone past him and he's driving up the road. So not too... Oh, Neil Krenning, 22nd.
Whoa! Michael catching a little bit of the dirt there on the exit through Cheetah. And I can tell you something, the way your heart just sinks when you feel that rumble is now no longer there, and that is a different feeling. Yeah, anything is going to happen from there.
So Neil Krenning in 21st, and the Ferraris behind him. I think that's a back marker or somebody out of track position that Fred could... Oh, and that Ferrari hit that curb, 6 love. Fred comes into the pits. I don't know who the Ferrari was, but...
Looks like the Ferrari's gone into the pits there, so that is Louis Serfontaine.
Okay.
And yeah, that's Tyron Marburg in that Lamborghini that's come in behind. So those are the 3 drivers that have gone into the pits.
Henry Platt, 18 seconds back from Brandon Kruger in 4th place. Has Daniel De Villiers and Godzilla behind him. Behind Daniel De Villiers, here he is. You can see the likes of Mr. Paul Fenter. There he is in the Aston for LNR, with a slow marker getting out the way in a Ford Mustang. And Brandon Holzhausen now comes into the pits. So pit stops happening thick and fast, ladies and gents. We're not going to be able to tell you what is going on until just now, but very shortly you will see the green boxes start creeping up the timing leaderboard. And that's how you'll know who is leading, net leading. Philip Minnar, obviously in the first place, but still has 2 stops to do. I would probably say he's running almost a full tank and he's going to do 2 splash and dashes in the last 2 laps. Something like that.
And look, that is the better option. And I don't think there's going to be anybody that's going to take tires. Since the latest tire model update, anything within an hour and a half is that you're able to make the same set of tires work.
Yes.
But there may be those that try, but that 30 seconds just don't see it being worth it.
No. Jude Neville still hanging on to the back of, and probably getting a little bit closer to the Aston. I would say Paul Fenter might be experiencing a bit of grip loss maybe, but Jude's right there, and this does for 6th and 7th. Take note, Henry Mayer from 2nd place into the pits, so he has pulled the trigger, and he is getting out of it and getting one of his stops out the way. That promotes Brandon Kruger back to 2nd place, and there's the net lead time of Philip Minnar, 26.7 seconds up the road. I can't say how good this man is, because he really is a young man, and you can clearly see how the international arena has groomed him into one of the top drivers in the country.
Just jump there to 13-14. There's a little bit of a Michael Donaldson versus Sean Loureiro battle happening there. And just behind is, not just behind, sorry, that's a back marker that they've just passed. But Sean Loureiro looking for a way past the Ferrari of Michael Donaldson.
Yeah, Sean Loureiro looking superb in the GSRT liveried, the blue liveried Mustang. And
Henry Mayer stop and go steady.
Henry Mayer sped into the pit lane. He is going to be fizzing about that as Sean Loureiro does a big look up the inside, gets a little bit into Michael Donaldson's head, and although still kind of there or thereabouts, Michael Donaldson, oh yes he is, he's going up the inside of Yuxke, and Michael Donaldson comes out positive.
It's such a tricky corner that because your angle and your entry is just so tight that you're not carrying the speed. So whichever car's on the outside going through barbecue, you're going to win the drive out 9 out of 10 times there. So it's such a tricky corner to try and overtake through barbecue.
Take note, Philip Minard, the leader in the pits. That promotes Brandon Kruger to the lead. So Philip Minard getting one of his stops out the way. And Henry Mayer with the stop go is just going to be going, aye, Papa.
I'm still very interested to see where Mahat Musa is because he is the only driver that we're seeing currently on this timing sheet.
Yep.
And he is down in 22nd place of where it all, where this all going to start within the next 20 minutes. We'll know who's doing what as we see Sean Loureiro
getting the pass done.
Getting the pass done. But there might be a little look on the inside by Michael. Sean allows the space on the inside and he's going to have to back down. One of them is going to have to go. There we go. Michael saying, okay, he's made it uncomfortable for Sean long enough and drops back and says, Sean, away you go.
I'll give up. Henry Mayer just peeled off into the pit, so he's doing his stop go 30. That's going to drop him out of the top 20 for sure. Jason Farmer also in for his second stop, so we'll see where Jason comes out. But Moed Musa on the board, the net leader with all the pit stops out the way. Going to Daniel de Villiers, who is half a second off the back of Henry Platt right now. And Henry Platt thundering up the hill in the big Ford V8 Mustang. There he is.
Jason Farmer and Henry both in the pits.
No, not
now
Henry.
Henry Mayer. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm watching Henry Platt. I beg your pardon.
And I was going to say that Jason Farmer is now going to come out having completed his 2 pit stops. And if we look at the time between himself and Mohat Musa, so we're just going to wait for that split. So there's about 9 seconds between Jason Farmer and Mohat.
It's closer. Musa's gone through the kinks. So into Crowthorne, Jason Farmer just up the road going through Barbecue and Yuxke. That's probably about 4 seconds, 5 seconds. So Jason Farmer net leading Mohat Musa by... Yeah,
6.4 seconds. I've got it on the ACC TV.
And then just behind them, Chris Heineke down in 23rd, Christoph Pedersen in 24th in his Honda, and then Henry Percival, Gerry van Zyl, Louis Safontaine, and Vietia Buerta all having completed their stops. So here we go. It's starting to fall into place, as we say.
Gerry van Zyl moving up 1 place over Herman Percival, just dropping down there.
What position? Where are you?
Oh, sorry, that is down in 26th and 27th.
There we go. Oh, there's a car around just after Barbecue and Yuxke. Try and pick it up.
Terry Wolford.
Oh, Terry Wolford's done a turnaround there.
I think you might have just caught the curb and...
Why can't I even see him on the timing screens, man?
Because he's down in 37th, right at the bottom.
Okay. Got him as he comes through Clubhouse. I'm not going to go back a minute and watch that, but he hit the curb and turned the car around, was against the old pit wall straight, but has got it up and going, and he's down in 32nd place. Up at the top, Michael in the pits, Matthew Wadley with Etienne Mouton, and my name is Jeff coming out the pits.
I also picked up that Rob van der Heever has got himself a 30-second stop go.
Eish. He has just completed that, I think, or he's just, yes, he has. He's now heading to the pit exit, so I think that's his pit stop done.
And Etienne Maton, a little drive-through for you, sir. So we're starting to see the pressure starting to mount on some of the drivers. Those little mistakes starting to come in, and 30 minutes left to go of this race.
Paul Fenty in 4th place. Philip Minnow has just gone by him. We're going to go back 30 seconds and just have a look at this. This will be done into Crowthorne. Yes, it is. So Philip Minnow towing under the wing of the Aston Martin. Sends it up the inside. Pretty acceptable pass. Paul Fenty can't fight that because that Mustang is really quick. But that is a position change for 4th and 5th place. So Philip Minnow heading back up the timing leaderboards after getting his pit stop done and dusted. And now he's arriving on the back of Daniel de Villiers.
And looking at that pit stop, that was a long stop for Philip. So his total travel time was 24.1, but his stop time was 34.9. So that tells me he's put tires.
He's put tires, just catching up with Fleming Bauer here. Fleming Bauer chasing Chris Wall's Mustang, and this is for excuse me, 12th and 13th place position. Fleming busy trying to climb back up the grid. Still needs his second pit stop to happen, but is putting a huge amount of pressure on Chris Wall right now.
Yeah, and these two drivers are currently on the same pit strategy, so they are fighting for each other. Seeing some of the comments still coming through saying thinks Minnow needs to race with just one hand. We believe he is already, tennis.
His other hand's holding a beer, man.
Yeah, and Frankie's saying Marsa harder. I think she's talking about his mother's hair. And Tina's saying that
oh dear.
He's supporting PDCY. Lucas is saying GSTR. And Antonio is saying GSTR.
No, Antonio is
some
saying
support coming through there.
Antonio is just saying, "Go, my boy!
Go, Jason, my boy!"
Right, back down to Fleming, and he's still pushing like a man possessed, and Chris Wall is still defending with everything he's got. Oh, McLaren gets a little sideways. One of the backmarker Mustangs getting out of the way from these two as they push on.
Eddie Fudsale, in 29th place, just was behind VT Buerta, but VT Buerta now applying pressure on Etienne Mouton. Moving up, whoa, that's Mazi van Dondo in the Glam
McLaren. Yep.
Etienne now down 2 places with Vitia and Kheli both going past him up in Yexke. Leokop, apologies.
Oh,
my gosh, that was close.
That was super close. Etienne almost into the...
No, that's not Etienne.
Sorry.
Etienne in the Ferrari.
That's the white Mustang up ahead. That's Van Sale.
That's Eddie Van Sale, correct.
Shoo. Was super close there.
There has been a position change for Louis Serpentine, moving up into 25th place ahead of Brandon De Santos. And Brandon now dropping down some places as he peels off and goes into the pits to do his second and final pit stop of the race. Getting up on the inside at turn 2 through Crowthorne and starting to open up a bit of a gap now between himself and the next place behind. My name's Jeff. 21st place here for him. It looks like he's struggling a little bit.
Yep.
He still needs to get a pit stop in. He did superbly well in the sprint races last week. It just looks like struggling a little bit with a longer format.
Brendan Fitzell for a moment was right behind another car, but it looks like he's fallen off the back of it. It's Flip Van Sale just up ahead there. He's 1.8 seconds off the back of Fred Conradi. So, huge field of Mustangs this evening. A good 7 or 8 of them, in fact. Oh dear. Neil Krenning, stop go 30 for speeding into the pit lane. Oh, Brandon DeSantis. Was that?
It was Flip Van Sale.
Flip Van Sale, sorry.
Yeah. Having the pass done, that was Brandon Holzhausen that actually went through there. I think,
okay, there we go.
Back marker. So yeah, little flash of the lights. Flip saw him coming, let him up on the inside, and away we went. And you see, Antonio said they're always my boy.
Always. Hey, Antonio. Right, so Brandon Kruger now leading by 20 seconds from Philip, but Brandon's still 2 stops to get done. And the shortest stop, even with 1 litre, is about how many seconds?
Well, you're in for like 55 seconds minimum.
So
no. 55 seconds with the tires. Travel time like 23.9 seconds, and whatever your fuel is. So you could do that pit stop within 30 seconds.
Well, Philip's still going to get by and go past him, but let's have a look at Henry Platt here. Henry Platt right on the back of Daniel de Villiers' Nissan, and these guys are dicing for the last podium position. This is for 3rd place.
De Villiers still needs to pit twice. Platt needs to pit twice. Penta needs to pit twice. Neville needs to pit twice. Renault once. Lorero once. Blicknote once. Rodio once. Holzhausen once. Chris Wall once. And then Michael Donaldson. He is the highest of the pit completes already.
He is. Here we're looking at Jason Farmer right behind him by half a second. So Jason Farmer putting on a big challenge here on Michael Donaldson in the 2 Ferraris. Jason driving really well now, and both pit stops done and dusted, and this is for a position with everybody ahead of them, either 1 or 2 pit stops still needed. So these guys will be heading up the grid and into the top 10 easily once the pit stops take place. We have just under 23 minutes left in this race.
Alan, what I have my eye on is Mohat Musa was 0.3 seconds quicker than both Jason and Michael the last lap. So Mohat Musa has gained 0.5 of a second in that last sector. So this is going to be a really, really strong lap. And it looks like Mohat is going to be jumping onto the back of this battle as well.
Indeed. So this last lap as he goes over the line now, that is a 141.2. Jason up ahead, a 142.3, and Michael Donaldson a 143.1. So Musa a good 1.5 seconds, and someone's wide into Crowthorne down there as Musa goes by. Was that? It wasn't Jason. Oh, these guys are going hammer and tongs right now. Michael Donaldson is defending, and Jason is all over him. I'm not sure who that Ferrari was that was out in Crowthorne, but let's keep
Philip Minard in the pits.
In the pits. So Philip Minard getting his second stop done. And Jason Farmer trying to work out what he can do here. Again, it's Michael Donaldson putting the Ferrari exactly where it needs to be.
And that's right in the middle of the track. You saw that him going into Clubhouse, got it in the middle. Jason was a little bit hesitant, didn't know whether he needed to go left or right. Kind of had a very, very weird braking, kind of angled the car to the right and then followed Michael through. But that's how you disrupt the guy who's challenging you. That's how you disrupt his flow. You make him question what you're going to be doing next,
exactly,
which makes him he has to back off.
And he is also looking in the mirrors to see if you are indeed going or not. So you're getting in the driver's head, and he's then second guessing what's going to happen at the next set of corners. But Matthew doing a great job here, and Jason is all over him like a rash.
Mohat Musa was 3.8 seconds. He's now down to 1.4 seconds. Mohat Musa is coming for this battle, boys.
And here you hear, this is the M4. Mohat Musa has been in this car for well over 2 years. And up ahead, they're doing it. Jason Farmer side by side as they go through Crowthorne, and he has to turn sharply to get around the apex, and that allows Michael Donaldson to carry the pace and hold his position. But there, as you pointed out, that is the M4 of Moed Musa from Project Vapor, and he's closing in. Jason still pushing hard.
If you look at the top 10, knowing that Platt, Fenter, Neville, and Renner still have to pit, the top 3 have to pit 3 times the side-by-side, Michael Donaldson and Jason Farmer. Farmer's going to go around the outside through the S's, and a little bit of contact there, but it looks like they're going to be able to get through there, and it's just put Moed Musa right on the back with the very, very angry Mustang now getting involved here. Moed Musa trying to go around the outside of Leeuwkop, but not able to carry that speed and get himself up that position. But a little look to the inside here. Is that the place where you want to be going? Well, Michael will hold that inside line.
He does.
Tries the little cutback, but it's a very tricky corner to try and get the drive and set yourself up here for Cheetah. It is single file through there.
Oh, car off as they... Oh, and a car going into the pits. That was close. So, again, Michael Donaldson getting around Crocodiles right on the apex, even though he's slower than the car coming from the outside. There was nothing Musa could do there. He had to actually lift and back out of it. But he's on a run now as they come down to Crowthorne, and he puts it up the inside. Side by side, they go through Crowthorne. No contact. There's a little bit of tap back, and Musa takes the position, and onwards he goes. Antonia on the YouTube, sorry, Dylan. Antonia saying she's watching through her fingers as Michael Donaldson flashes at Musa for that little... I don't know if that was Musa's fault or Michael's fault, but they carry on for another dice, and we'll see. But Jason Farmer, 1.3 seconds up and going, so Musa's going to now try and chase him down. Up ahead, you can see Philip Minot in 7th place on the timing screen. His pit stops are all done, and he's now just going to cruise his way to the finish.
Just jump to 1st and 2nd, please.
Let's go to 1st and 2nd really quickly, and it's Henry Platt. Here he is, again, giving Daniel de Villiers a whole bunch of headaches. And both of them, in fact, the top 3, de Villiers, Platt, and Fenter, still got to pit 2 times for the top 3 drivers. But Henry Platt is looking to try and disturb Daniel de Villiers.
That green car that we're seeing in the background, that's Brandon Kruger. He's pitted once already. So he's technically ahead of this battle.
Yes. Brandon Kruger net 2nd overall on the track because he is that far ahead when he does get his pit stop done. Jude Neville behind him with 2 stops to go, and then Gideon Renner a few seconds back from Kruger. So at the moment, it's Minna from Kruger from Renner, your top 3. These 2 are going to be peeling in shortly, or not.
Alan, the last 10 minutes are going to be ballistic.
Mental.
Only because I'm still seeing a total, and I'm just looking at the timing sheet, a total of 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 14 pit stops still needing to happen before we understand who is sitting where.
Exactly. And we got 16 minutes and some change left in this race, so it's going to get thick and fast. I see on the YouTube channel Ulrich de Jager is shouting for Go Farmer, and people are saying, well, you're supposed to be on the track. What happened? So Ulrich having some technical difficulties somewhere.
True story. Ulrich, why aren't you racing? Yeah, I just want to skim through further down to see what's happening. So Louis Serfontaine down in 25th place. He's up on the back of VT Buerta within half a second. And that is a Ferrari versus the Mustang. And that seems to be the story of the evening tonight.
Yeah, pretty much. Here and there we've got like salt and pepper. We've got a smattering of Aston Martins. We've got a Porsche here and there and a couple of McLarens. Christoph Peterson is in his Honda, but it's the majority is Ferrari versus Ford. It sounds like the Le Mans movie, Ferrari versus Ford, remember?
And what a great movie.
What a great movie. So Louis, 7/10 off the back of Vietir and pushing along as best he can. I'm going back up to Henry,
Paul Fencer, Henry Platt.
Yeah.
There's a position change.
Henry Platt
And that's
peels
because
in.
Henry going into the pits, which now allows Donald Villas just to get by a bit. Listen to me. Get away a little bit. 1.5 seconds between himself and Paul Fenter, and Brandon Kruger not letting go of Paul Fenter, knowing that these guys are fighting for position, but out of pit stops.
Sink, yeah, good one. Paul Fenton, sorry, he's looking a lot more comfortable in the Aston, huh?
Most definitely. And it's only because normally every race in the Honda is that he would definitely be living his name as Paul the Wall Fenter.
Yeah, true. Ulrich saying it's torture sitting and watching the race instead of racing, but he was at a business dinner this evening. Business does come first before pleasure, sir.
Yes. So I think it's quite interesting that he's got his phone on the table. There's about 8 people around him. And here he is sitting watching the racing where he should be socializing with his colleagues. Yo!
Brandon Kruger getting up the inside of Mr. Paul Fenter, but Paul hanging on to the Aston, and they carry on to fight another day. Now sending it up the inside as they come into Crocodiles and sends it by. Paul Fenter tries to undercut him, but it looks like that pass has happened.
Yeah, great move there by Brandon. He did... I wouldn't say send it from Tuesday, but he did send it, put it up on the inside. He forced Paul to open up that line, and now Brandon, you can see, starting to just pull away a little bit from that Aston Martin.
Yeah, Paul did well to hang on to that and not let the car get turned around. Good to see. I think the where there is contact, it's not severe to the point that the cars are turning around. You know, it's more side by side kind of rubbing is racing, and the guys are managing to continue, which is great for the racing overall.
Most definitely. Look, we don't like contact because contact can put damage on the car. It doesn't make your car as optimal as it should. Where there are times where you can lean up on the car, and whether guys report incidents like that or not, it's entirely up to them. But here at SARCO, the first lap for us is always the most critical because we want guys to get through the first lap. So the penalties that we enforce are a little bit stricter, but we have a beautiful rule book. We apply the rule book. If you go out of the rules, there are consequences.
Yep.
But then this is the type of racing that it leads to later on in the race.
Matthew Wadley again. We're on camera on him in the Ferrari, half a second off the back of you know who.
My name's Jim.
That's it. And this is completed pit stops down 21st, 22nd place. So, like we love to say, the dices are thick and fast all the way up and down the timing screens. And we try and show you all of it happening. All the way down to 30th, it's Etienne Mouton right here. And Etienne Mouton also half a second off the back of Brandon DeSantis. So everyone's still trying to make up positions. Every position counts for points up until a point. I don't have that with me. I'm sorry. Did he just go by? He did. Brandon DeSantis letting cruise by. Yeah, he did.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yep. Okay. Johan Luknout in the pits up at the top. So current leaders, we have Daniel de Villiers in the lead by 1.5 seconds over Brandon Kruger with 2 laps, 2 pit stops still to be done and 11 minutes left of this race. So that tells us Daniel's been running really well with a pretty much brimmed Nissan Godzilla. Brandon Kruger 1 pit stop out the way and currently in second place. Paul Fenter, Jude Neville, 3rd and 4th, not too far behind, and Gideon Renner out of sync with Jude Neville up ahead and still a pit stop to go. Then Philip Minnaar in 6th, but your net leader with all his pit stops done. Henry Platt in 2nd place. Henry Platt behind Gideon Renner now. And that's Philip Minnaar going through and just slicing his way up to the top of the leaderboard. But Brandon Holzhausen with a very close dice here with Andres Arodio. So these guys still both pit stops to be done and within a second of each other.
Just for 2.3 seconds behind Brandon, still having to get a pit in. And this is the thing, is that all those guys that have got that one pit stop to go, they're going to be dropping down pretty much in that 18, 19, 20 area.
Correct.
Those that have got the 2 pit stops, technically they should be in that 10, 11, 12 area.
And here we go. Holzhausen peels into the pits, and there you can see the slowdown line. It's a very early stop coming into these pits, and that's where a number of drivers have run deep, haven't put their limiter on in time, and that's what started or got the stop go 30. So in they come, Brandon Holzhausen. We're now going to see the likes of Moat Musa and Jason Farmer start jumping up the leaderboard and heading towards inside the top 10 as they come around the final turn now. Jason Farmer, and he can feel Moat Musa's only 1.5 seconds back in that M4 and he's coming along strong.
So as Brandon should be leaving the pits now, you can see he has dropped down into 15th place.
Yep.
And Sean Lerero showing that he is a net second behind Minnaar, but we still need Kruger to do his pits as well as De Villiers and Fenter to do their 2 and Jude Neville. It's going to be interesting to see where those top 3 currently come out with only 8.5 minutes left to go.
It will. I've just jumped on board to our leader, Brandon Kruger, with Daniel De Villiers right behind him, although 2 pit stops, 1 pit stop separating them, but on track. This is a very close race currently happening. Philip Minnaar down in 4th place, and he is on the back of Paul Fentis Aston Martin, as you can see. Also still has his pit stops to get out the way, so Philip Minnaar is just on his way back up to the top of the leaderboard. I'm going to Moat Musa now because he is right here. Moat Musa has Chris Wall up ahead of him. Chris still got to do his pit stop. Jason has managed to get through there. And now Chris runs wide as they go through Crocodiles, so that allows Moore to get... No, it doesn't. Moore's had to back out of it because Chris is still racing, and now he peels off. That's going to have agitated Mr. Moat Musa a little bit, but here they go. Chris Wall getting his last stop out the way, and Moat Musa is 1.7 seconds off the back of Jason Farmer, with Minnaar up ahead, as we know, but completed pit stops. Sean Lerero, Blichnote, then Jason Farmer, Moat Musa, and the rest of the field.
Look, Moat Musa has done a superb job here. We know that he was down the order by lap 2. He was really up into 22nd place. He is currently sitting in 12th with some of the guys up at the top there, still needing to do some pit stops. So It's been an absolute great drive there for him.
It is. Catching up with Fleming Bauer, who is all over the back of Brandon Holzhausen. Fleming Bauer down here in 18th place, racing for position to 17th. He has dropped down substantially from being in the top 5, top 6 early on in this race. But traffic also makes a big saying in how quick you can get by and how you can get back up on the leaderboard. And with 40, give or take 42 cars on the track, Kyalami is maxed out, as you can see, cars all the way around the circuit.
And the guys have been pretty decent in terms of...
Fleming turned in. Let's go and look at that. We'll go back 10 seconds. Fleming turned in as the car was at the Essies, and Fleming collides with that. and that was unfortunate, but he's into the wall, and I don't know if he's going to continue.
And it looked like the back marker was just slowing down, letting the guys go through. Didn't realize that there was another car following him.
Yeah.
And Fleming
he's been towed back to the pits. It looks like he's out. That car's he's finished.
Unlucky.
Bad luck there. So back to what's happening with 5 minutes to go. Brandon Kruger, the leader, comes in. Here he is. So Brandon Kruger getting a pit stop done. The last one. That's going to let Philip Minnaar go through. And Paul Venter and Jude Neville follow them in. So the L&R boys are in. And, guys have got literally 5 minutes to go. Daniel de Villiers has completed
go
one.
Out,
yep.
Do the lap, come straight back in, and then basically finish on a valid lap.
That was it. It was a splash and dash. One lead. He was up and down, and Brandon Kruger peels out. Let's go back. There comes Paul Venter, not too far back, and behind him, Jude Neville. He's off his jacks, and he's rolling. So last pit stops all happening. De Villiers in for his second pit stop now. Sorodia still got his one to go as well. So this is it. Dylan, 4 minutes and some change. 3, 4, 5 cars still to do a pit stop. Gideon Renner, one of them, as we watch him come down the mine shaft. I suspect he'll be peeling into the pits this moment, this lap. And Brandon Kruger, 19.7 seconds back in third place. So I'm sure he'll take that position.
Just seeing the Sean Herrera 2 seconds behind Daniel. There's been an absolute great drive there from both of them.
Yeah.
And we know that both Daniel and Sean have had a little bit of fun through our Monday night a fun league. And I wonder whether this will repeat itself when we had Sean chasing Daniel for the rest of the race. And at the end, it was just that pure bliss from Daniel saying, yes, Sean, I don't know how I hold you up there. But anyway.
Watching the man again, Mr. Donaldson, getting a lot of airtime today. And Christoph Pedersen in the Honda going up the inside as they go through Barbecue and Yuxke. But Donaldson taking the wider line, which seems to be quicker through that turn 5. And he heads into sunset ahead of Christoph Pedersen in the little Honda, who is looking for a ways to get by right here. 3 minutes left, and we still have 4 cars that need to pit stop, and Fenter pulls into the pits, as does Henry Platt. Why is Gideon Renner coming into the pits? Gideon Renner...
No, he still had to do a pit stop. He had a pit stop to go, so he is in sync, but he is now currently sitting in third place. Andre Sorodio, he still needs to pit, so he should be doing it in the next lap or so.
Right, Jude Neville's in. So they're the cars coming out the pits. We're about to catch up. Let's go do a full last minute count as Philip Minnaar comes out of Leerkop. Beg your pardon? Yes, Leerkop.
Down the mine shaft.
Down the mine shaft. Brandon Kruger right there in second place, going through the SEs. That gap is a monstrous, probably, 40-something seconds. Third place, Gideon Renner on the track, also coming through the bottom of the SEs, and he's 8 seconds off the back of Brandon Kruger. Sorodia out of position in fourth, needs to pit. Sean Lerero in net fifth, now going to move into fourth place, and De Villiers will then also go by up into fifth place. That's your top 5 as we see it. Blicknote in 10th place. He is trying to make a move on Jude Neville, and he's right up behind him, and there's a lot of traffic ahead of Jude Neville.
And it's crazy to see how close some of these guys are.
Somebody spun in the SEs. They're facing the wrong way at the SEs. It's a Ferrari from way back down.
It's Timothy Gomez.
Mr. Gomez himself. Well picked up. Okay, I've got him now. Let's go back 30 seconds and have a look just for entertainment value. Into the SEs we go with the Helicam. He catches the bottom of the SEs, the cars. Oh, he's trying to keep out the way, and it looks like he got a little bit of assistance there and bang into the wall and then facing oncoming traffic. Has to restart the car, gets it restarted. Yeah. Very nice. Very good. Right, here we go. Last lap. Philip Minnaar over the start-finish line. He goes. Coming now through Crocodiles. Heading for the last time through Cheetah. Oh, and there's a Mustang out wide, but he avoids that. Round Ingwe. And Philip Minnaar takes round 2 of the SARCO 2025 Season 1 GT3 Championship. Brandon Kruger.
Oh,
sorry.
he didn't finish.
He
He's still got a lap. He's still got a lap.
That was a little bit of a premature announcement then, because they said he was on the final lap, but he's not. So Philip Minnaar carries on. That was weird.
So the game obviously thought that he wouldn't make it. Meanwhile, Philip crossed the line with 1 second to go.
All right, so this is his last lap. Looking at the deltas, the closest man is Blicknote in 9th place, and looking at the back of Jude Neville again. Blicknote trying to make up a position here. Jason Farmer just behind in 10th place. But Blicknote has 1 lap to try and make this stick, and Jude Neville's going to be looking at the mirrors and defending for all that he's worth to hang on to this 8th place.
Alan,
Yes, sir.
what are the chances of somebody having done the calculations on doing 43 laps and now we've actually done 44?
Yeah, running out of fuel. I was thinking that. It's a very good chance. Maybe we shouldn't say that too loudly, but let's see what happens. 15th place, it's Chris Haneke in his Porsche, and he is looking at Michael Donaldson. Poor Michael Donaldson has been challenged all night here at Kyalami, but hanging on to a good 14th place as Chris now follows him. Michael Donaldson running defensive, and down they come to Crowthorne.
No, that's very smart there by Michael. He really put the car into the middle.
Philip Minnaar over the line. It's done. There we go. Right. Brandon Kruger, 2nd place, coming through Crocodiles. Oh, see, we used the wrong camera lenses this evening because it's really dark out there. I'm sorry about this. Brandon Kruger, 2nd place. Gideon Renault further 9 seconds back in his Ferrari. He comes over in 3rd place. Then it's Sean Loureiro doing a great drive back and getting into the top 5. He's coming through Cheetah. And De Villiers 6 seconds further back in the Godzilla. He will be in 5th place. That's your top 5. So great result all round. Going to go to Blicknote, who is still chasing Jude Neville. And here they come. Last turn, last chance, and Blicknote's not going to make it stick. So he flashes and says, good game, GG's, well done to everyone up ahead. Sure, that was thick and fast. Andre Sorodia. Moed Musa got himself into 11th place there, Dylan. So him and Andre Sorodia doing a great drive back from not having qualifying times, actually.
As well as Jean Domingo. He's in 20th place, so
Here
he
we
basically moved up half the field as well.
Yep. And the rest of the field slowly comes along and obliterates each other into Crowthorne. We're going to take a small ad break as we wait for the drivers to come in for interviews, so don't go anywhere.
It's been silent. Too silent. They thought we were gone. That we had fallen behind. But in the dark, we've been preparing. We've sharpened our skills. We've refined our craft. And now, we're back. A new era begins. 6 weeks of racing. 2 different formats. Sprint racing and 75-minute races. 6 tracks. Nürburgring, Germany. Kyalami, South Africa. Monza, Italy. Silverstone, Great Britain. Barcelona, Spain. Spa, Belgium. SARCO Season 1 2025. Brought to you by Lekker Rubber with NAG. Supported by MSI, ALM Solutions, VA Auto Repairs, and Celtic Tuning Midrand. SARCO, the way sim racing should be.
Attention VW and Audi car owners. Looking for top-notch car service and repair without breaking the bank? At VA Auto Repairs, we're the VW and Audi specialist you can trust. Our expert team ensures quality repairs and maintenance with a guarantee of satisfaction. From brakes to engine overhauls, we can handle it all. Your car is in good hands. RMI approved, we deliver excellence at fair prices. Your safety and satisfaction, our top priorities. Book your car service today. Visit our website or call 011 315 4001. And don't forget to quote SARCO when making your booking. VA Auto Repairs, your trusted partner in vehicle care.
Good. Well, there we go. We are back, and Dylan, as we expected, it was thick and fast all the way through for 80 minutes.
And the beauty about it is that we don't know where the guys are going to come out until all those pit stops are done, and this is what we freaking love about this racing.
Exactly.
So we are waiting for Kieran to join us, but I think we've got Brandon and Philip are currently in the chat with us. Let's go to you, Brandon. Your first race here with us. Throwing you into that 1 lap qualifier, throwing into pit stops with like a mini enduro. How was the first SARCO experience for you?
Oh, it was tons of fun. Hey, I quite like the one-shot quali. It's awesome. Also the slightly shorter race time compared to race. It made me like consider the options. What do I do in those pit stops? So I opted for the no type strategy, and it paid off really well in the end. So I'm really happy.
Absolutely fantastic. And just in terms of the racing, it looked like it was extremely tough out there. And obviously with the 2 pit stops, you've got guys that are currently out of sync with each other. But the racing looked absolutely incredible.
Oh yes, of course. Philip, he just booked it from the start. I think he was running probably like a half fuel load, and he changed tires, so obviously he was going to be quick. I was like, no, let me keep the McLarens right behind me. I don't want to give them any advantage. Just see how fast I can go. I was pushing it relatively quickly. I was doing quite a bit, which wasn't making me too happy for the end. But surprisingly, despite the Mustang having the reputation for having like dead tires after half an hour, it held up quite well after 75 minutes. It was quite consistent near the end, so I was more than set for that.
Absolutely awesome. A great showing there for you. A second for this evening. Let's go to you, Philip. A absolute cracker of a qualifying. A earlier pit stop, we saw that you had opted for the tires. Was that always something that you were going to do, or did you realize, look, I've got the pace, let's take the tires and rather have a safe finish?
Yeah, going to qualifying, it was an interesting session with the fast track, and I noticed we didn't have kilograms on the Ford, so I was like kind of rubbing my hands, like it's time. You didn't
have kilograms?
Was there no bop on the car?
No, the Ford didn't have kilograms. It didn't have certain kgs, but yeah. I saw that and I kind of grinned, and I was like, okay. And yeah, the race, like you said, I went 50-50. I was pretty scared, or not scared. I was just a bit of a worry in the back of my mind. Yeah, with the Ferrari, I know the Ferrari, its drop off is ridiculous on all tires, and it's got the best fuel economy in the game. And obviously the Ford, we call it the skinny tire model on the rear. That's why it's pretty bad. And like the first 30 minutes, it's really fast, and then there's just this massive drop off after 30 minutes. So I just kept that in mind, just did 50-50 and drove.
That was an absolute awesome race. And then coming through the field, obviously, with having the earlier pit stop, did you find much problems coming through the traffic?
Well, yes. I had some interesting moments with the bag markers, but I mean, I'm used to it. It's SA.
Yeah.
It's very different to Europe. Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it, so no real issues there.
Dylan, you know what I have to chuckle about? The man himself says there's a massive drop off after so many minutes, and after so many minutes he was still doing low 140s. Well done there, Philip. It was a show.
I've got to perform at my favorite track, so
yeah, that was obvious. You were the only one I saw in the 139s.
Yeah, I've done so. I can't even count the esport races I've done here. It's I mean, since like 2021, 2022. Yeah. I think the SA leagues also have milked Kyalami on ACC ever since it came out. So now I think all of us know this track really well, but I think racing in Europe just gives you that extra step or two.
Yeah, so definitely. You can see it. Brandon, also well done to you, buddy, and welcome for your first round here at SARCO, but great result for you as well, considering the strength of the field and the amount of traffic. Good, clean, respectful racing all the way through.
Thank you, Alan.
Yeah, lekker, man.
And right, so guys, thank you very much to the viewers that were out there. Lots and lots of support for each of the drivers. A big thank you to Alan joining me in the comms box. And don't forget our sponsors, Lekker Rubber, NAG, our ALM Solutions, MSI, who supports all my components, as well as VA Auto Repairs and Celtic Tuning, guys. All the details are in the description. Go check them out and support the brands that support SARCO. Next week we go back to the sprints. It's going to be a dodgy one on the start. We're at Monza. We'll see how it goes, but anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
We've learned that. So
Yeah.
guys, keep practicing, keep racing, and thanks for watching. Yos.
Cheers. All.
Attention VW and Audi car owners. Looking for top-notch car service and repair without breaking the bank? At VA Auto Repairs, we're the VW and Audi specialist you can trust. Our expert team ensures quality repairs and maintenance with a guarantee of satisfaction. From brakes to engine overhauls, we can handle it all. Your car is in good hands. RMI approved, we deliver excellence at fair prices. Your safety and satisfaction, our top priorities. Book your car service today. Visit our website or call 011 315 4001. And don't forget to quote SARCO when making your booking. VA Auto Repairs, your trusted partner in vehicle care.